Hi guys, this is your video clip related to chapter 6A or section 6A for rates and ratios. Okay, so it's about introducing ratios. Now, our learning intentions for this video is to understand that ratios show a relationship between related quantities, to understand that the order in which the values are written in a ratio is important, to be able to write a ratio from a situation that's been described, and to be able to write equivalent ratios to a given ratio by multiplying or dividing each other by a quantity by the same number. Wow, that's a mouthful. Okay, now you need to watch this video if you choose to. If you got question 1, 2, 3 and 4 wrong, or a majority of those wrong, okay, on the diagnostic pre-test. Okay, so first of all, in terms of uses of ratios are important if we're looking at ingredients in cooking. So you might have a recipe and you may want to reduce the recipe. So you're going to need the ratio of different ingredients to know how much you reduce each one by. On maps, ratio is important when we're looking at scale. Sporting success, you can look at the ratio of losses and wins and kicking goals and things like that. So quite often used in statistical analysis. If you're comparing size of shapes and that, especially in terms of technical drawing and things like that. And in legal requirements, okay, in terms of staffing, so at schools we have ratios of student to staff and things like that. So lots of important reasons that we use ratios, so it's important to understand them. Okay, so what is a ratio? Well, this is a ratio. Okay, we've got 1, and then we have the 2 points in the middle, and then we have 5. So that is 1 to 5, a ratio of 1 to 5. Alrighty, so some examples of ratio. If we look at the ratio of flowers to ladybugs, okay, we would say it's a ratio of 3, that's 3 flowers, 1, 2, 3, to 6, there's 6 ladybugs, okay, so 3 to 6. Alrighty, now we could simplify that, and we go into simplifying later on, but we could simplify that to 1 to 3, okay, because, sorry, 1 to 2, because for every 1 flower there's 2 ladybugs, okay? So you can simplify your ratios if you wish. Okay, so here we've got another example. So we've got, if we do chickens, and we're going to mix this one up, we could do chickens to eggs. Okay, so we've got 1 chicken to 8 eggs. Now we can't simplify that any further because we're at our 1, and ratios are always using whole numbers. Sometimes we'll get them with fractions and we'll see what to do with them. Okay, or we could go the other way, eggs to chicken. Okay, it depends what information you're trying to find out. So you'd go 8 to 1. Alrighty. So another example here, we've got apples, but we've got green apples to red apples. Okay, so we've got 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. To 9. Okay. We could go red to green. Okay, so it would be 9 to 3. Or we can simplify that further to 1 to 3 or 3 to 1. Okay, looking, if we just visually look at it, even I will teach you to do this more mathematically, but each green apple, oops, has 3. Okay, now I've muddled that up, and this dude's going to have to go all the way around there. Okay, so that's, to each green apple, there's 3 red ones. So looking at ratios visually is quite helpful. Okay, all right, so ratio is important when it comes to gears. Okay, so here we've got a gear that is, it has got 24 teeth on it, and this one has got 12 teeth on it. So our gear ratio would be 24 to 12, okay, and we can simplify that to 2 to 1. Alrighty. Okay, so the key ideas from what we've looked at so far today. Ratios show the relationship between two or more related quantities. Okay, so if we're looking at a drink that's made of cordial to water, it might be 1 part cordial to 3 parts water. The colon, that's our 2 dots, okay, is the mathematical symbol used to represent ratios. So the written ratio of A to B is read as the ratio of A to B, or you can say A is to B. So 1 is to 2, okay, or we say 1 to 2. The order in which the quantities are written in the ratio is important. So you must make sure you get them the right way round, because A to B is very different to B to A. Okay, so you must get it in the right order. Before ratios can be written and simplified, the quantities must be expressed in the same unit. So you can't do something in centimetres to kilometres as such. We need to be using the same units. If each value in a ratio is multiplied or divided by the same number, an equivalent ratio is formed. Okay, so if we've got 1 to 3 and we multiply them by 2, okay, so we now get 2 to 6, that's an equivalent ratio, all right? So we do have these things called equivalent ratios. I hope this clip has been useful.